Hey girl, scoot a little closer on this cozy couch. Yeah, right here. I'm Elena, your late night storyteller, the one who's heard too many heartbreaks, but still believes in the wild ones. Tonight, just you and me, like we're whispering secrets over wine. But listen, imagine a rainy Seattle night. A woman rushing into a dimly lit bookstore, her heart pounding from a betrayal that shattered her world. She bumps into a stranger, tall, brooding, with eyes like storm clouds. And in that collision, sparks fly. But oh, honey, it's no fairy tale yet. He's hiding a vendetta against the very woman who broke her. And as their passion ignites, the shadows of revenge creep in, threatening to tear them apart before they've even begun. Will love outrun the storm, or will one final twist drown them both? Lean in, because if you blink, you'll miss the heartbeat that changes everything. Okay, breathe with me, sis. That's the hook that got me too. The one that makes your chest tight, your fingers itch for the next page. This story, it's called Shadows of Rain. I found it tucked away in my grandma's old journal years ago, but it feels like it happened yesterday, raw and real, set right here in the Pacific Northwest, where the fog hugs the streets like a lover's secret. It's about Lily, strong, fierce, the kind of woman who rebuilds after a storm, but never forgets the thunder. And Alex, oh, that man with the quiet fire. I'll tell it slow, painting every moment so you feel the rain on your skin, the heat of his breath, the chill of what's coming. No fluff, no detours, just us, unraveling this thread of romance, suspense, and that sharp edge of revenge that cuts deepest when you least expect it. Ready? Let's dive in. It started on a Tuesday in October, the kind of Seattle autumn where the sky opens up without warning, turning sidewalks into rivers. Lily Harper was 28, a graphic designer with a laugh that could light up a blackout and a heart scarred from a love that had ghosted her 2 years prior. Her ex, Marcus, charming bastard, Wall Street type, had promised forever, then vanished with her savings and her trust, leaving her in a cramped Capitol Hill apartment stacked with unpaid bills and half-finished sketches. She'd clawed her way back, freelance gigs, late nights at her laptop, a circle of girlfriends who dragged her to yoga and brunches. But deep down, that wound festered. Not rage exactly, more like a quiet vow. One day, she'd make him see what he'd lost. Not for revenge, she told herself. For closure. That rainy evening, Lily dashed into the Raven's Nest, a tucked-away bookstore on Pike Street, her umbrella flipping inside out like a bad joke. Water dripped from her wool coat as she shook it off, scanning for a dry corner. The place smelled of aged paper and fresh espresso, shelves groaning under mysteries and romances that mocked her single status. She grabbed a latte from the counter, extra foam, her armor against the world, and weaved toward the back, eyes on her phone, texting her bestie Sarah, "Rain's winning, need wine stat." That's when she collided with him, full-on chest to chest, her latte splashing across his crisp button-down like abstract art gone wrong. "Oh God, I'm so sorry," Lily gasped, fumbling for napkins that weren't there. He steadied her with hands that felt like anchors, warm, steady, calloused from something creative, not corporate. Up close, Alex Kane was all sharp jawline and stormy blue eyes, mid-30s, with dark hair tousled by the wind. A faint scar traced his left eyebrow. Adding to the intrigue, he didn't flinch at the spill. Instead, a slow smile cracked his face, the kind that starts in his eyes and pulls you in. "No harm done," he said, voice low and gravelly, like aged whiskey. "Adds character. I'm Alex." He extended a hand, ignoring the stain blooming on his shirt. "Lily," she replied, shaking it, her pulse skipping at the contact. His grip was firm but gentle, lingering just a second too long. "Let me buy you a new shirt, or at least a coffee." He chuckled, a sound that warned the chill in her bones. "Coffee's a start, but only if you join me." I was about to claim that window seat anyway. She hesitated. Stranger danger, right? But something in his gaze, vulnerable yet steady, tugged at her. 5 minutes, she bargained with herself. Just polite chat. They settled by the fogged glass, rain pattering like impatient fingers. He was a photographer, he explained, specializing in urban decay. Abandoned warehouses, graffiti-splashed alleys. "I capture the beauty in the broken," he said, sipping his black coffee. "Seattle's full of it." Lily leaned in, intrigued. "Broken's my specialty too. Design-wise anyway. I turn chaos into logos, heartbreak into fonts." She laughed self-deprecatingly, but he didn't join in. Instead, he studied her, really saw her. The faint freckles across her nose, the way her green eyes sparked when she talked passion. "Tell me about the Heartbreak one," he prompted. No judgment, just curiosity. She blinked, surprised. Most guys dodged the deep stuff. But with Alex, words spilled easy. Marcus's betrayal, the empty apartment, the slow rebuild. He listened, nodding, his fingers tracing the rim of his mug. When she finished, he reached across, brushing a stray curl from her face. "Sounds like he was the broken one, not you. And you're already mending better than he ever could." Our breath caught. No pity, no platitudes, just truth. They talked for hours, the bookstore emptying around them. He shared snippets of his world, a recent shoot in the industrial district, chasing light through rusted gates. She confessed her dream of illustrating children's books, stories where heroines slay dragons without losing their spark. By closing time, the rain had softened to a drizzle, and he walked her to her car, umbrella over both their heads. "Tomorrow?" he asked at her door, casual but hopeful. "Same time? Same place? I'll bring my camera. You can critique my chaos." She grinned, heart lighter than it had been in months. "Deal, but no spilling on me this time." As she drove home, windows fogged, Lily replayed his smile, the way his laugh rumbled low. Romance? Too soon. But possibility? That she could chase. The next evening, she arrived early, nerves buzzing like caffeine. Alex was there, camera slung over his shoulder, a fresh shirt, charcoal, hugging his broad frame just right. They wandered the stacks, fingers brushing as they pulled books. He snapped a candid of her nose deep in a poetry volume, emerald light from a stained glass lamp gilding her hair. "Perfect," he murmured, showing her the shot. She looked alive, unguarded, seen. From there, it snowballed. Coffee turned to dinners at hole-in-the-wall spots, dim sum in Chinatown, where they fed each other dumplings and debated favorite films. Hers, Amelie, whimsical. His, Blade Runner, moody. Walks along the waterfront, hands linking naturally as gulls wheeled overhead. One night, under the Space Needle's glow, he kissed her, slow, deliberate, tasting of salt air and promise. Her back against the railing, his hands framing her face, the city hummed around them like applause. "I've been waiting for that," he whispered against her lips. "Me too," she admitted, pulling him closer. It was electric, uncomplicated, his touch igniting places Marcus had left cold. In bed later, tangled in her sheets, it was tender exploration. Whispers in the dark, laughter when limbs nodded, sighs that built to waves. Alex was attentive, tracing her curves like one of his photos, memorizing every freckle, every gasp. "You're incredible," he'd say, eyes locked on hers post-climax. No games, just raw connection. Weeks blurred into a rhythm, mornings texting silly memes, afternoons stealing kisses in his darkroom, where red light bathed them in secrecy. He showed her his portfolio, stark, beautiful shots of decay reborn. A vine-choked factory window framing a sunset, symbolizing hope in ruin. Like us, he'd say, arm around her waist. She shared sketches, vulnerable lines of girls with capes made of clouds. He hung one on his fridge, titled Lily's Sky. But suspense simmered beneath the bliss, subtle at first, a shadow in his eyes when his phone buzzed with unknown numbers, a tension in his shoulders during quiet moments. Lily chalked it up to artist brooding. But one evening, as they picnicked in Discovery Park, blankets spread under cedars, salmon sandwiches and wine, he went still. A text lit his screen. "Miss you. We need to talk." "E. Who's E?" she asked lightly, popping a grape. He pocketed the phone quick, smile forced. "Old client. Nothing." But his kiss after tasted bittersweet, like omission. She let it slide. Trust was her new mantra, until the revenge thread unraveled, sharp and unexpected. It was mid-November, leaves carpeting the paths in gold and crimson. Lily's freelance load lightened, freeing weekends for Alex. They planned a getaway to the San Juans. Ferry ride, cozy cabin, no signal, just them. Packing her bag, she found an old photo slipped from a book. Marcus and her, grinning at a vineyard, pre-betrayal. She stared, ache flaring. Revenge whispered then, not vicious, but poetic. She'd heard he was back in Seattle, climbing the ladder at a tech firm. What if she accidentally crossed his path at a networking event? Show him the woman he'd lost, thriving. Shaking it off, she met Alex at the dock. The ferry cut through slate waters, wind whipping their scarves. In the cabin, wood-beamed, overlooking the strait, they made love by the fireplace, slow and deep. His body a map she navigated with lips and hands. "I could stay like this forever," he murmured, tracing her spine. "Me too," she breathed, meaning it. But as night fell, stars pricking the ink-black sky, he stepped out for air. She followed quietly, curious about his restlessness. On the porch, phone to ear, voice low. "Emma, stop calling. You don't get to waltz back after what you did." "Emma." "The ex?" Lily froze in shadow, heart thudding. He paced, rain starting again. "You cheated. Drained my accounts, left me for that venture capitalist prick." "Yeah, Marcus Hale. Ring a bell?" "I know everything, how you two plotted it. Used me as the stepping stone." A pause, her voice tinny through the speaker. "Revenge? Damn right. I've been building my portfolio, waiting for the right shot to expose you both. Your perfect life? It's got cracks, Emma, and I'm the one with the lens." Lily's world tilted. Marcus. Her Marcus? The same snake? She slipped back inside, stomach churning, pieces slotting cruelly. Alex's urban decay photos. Had they been scouting Marcus's firm? The brooding, the dodged questions, it clicked. He wasn't just healing. He was hunting. Morning brought awkwardness. Over coffee, she probed gently. "Last night, Emma," he sighed, setting down his mug, eyes pained. "My ex, yeah, 2 years ago, she gutted me. Financially, emotionally. Ran off with my best friend, actually. Marcus Hale, tech bro, all flash. They bled me dry, then ghosted. I've been piecing it together, quietly. Photos, evidence. Not to hurt, but to reclaim. Show the world their success is built on lies." Lily's throat tightened. Marcus, he's my ex too. Alex's face drained of color. What? The fairy horn blared, docking them back to reality. In the car ride home, rain lashing the windshield, he gripped the wheel white-knuckled. How? When? Before you. He did the same to me. Took my money, my trust. I thought it was just me. Tears stung her eyes. Alex, are you using me? To get to him? No. He pulled over sharp, facing her, hand cupping her cheek. God, Lily, never. That night at the bookstore? Fate. You crashed into me, literally, and lit something I thought was dead. Emma's calls started after we met. Coincidence, or karma. But my revenge? It's separate. Photos of their falsified deals, anonymous tips to investors. Not personal anymore. But it was. Suspense coiled tighter that week. Lily couldn't sleep, replaying his words, her own buried grudge surfacing. Revenge felt justified now. Shared pain bonding them, but poisoning too. She attended a design mixer at a Belltown lounge, knowing Marcus would be there. Spotting him, suited, schmoozing, arm around a new blonde, she felt the old fire. Approach, spill wine on his ego. Instead, Alex appeared at her side, uninvited but timely, hand on her lower back. You okay? Marcus's eyes narrowed, recognition dawning. Lily? And you? Alex Kane, he said coolly, grip tightening protectively. Heard a lot about you. The air crackled. Marcus blanched, excuses tumbling. Lily, babe, we should catch up. But she turned away, arm linked with Alex's, head high. Outside, rain sheeting down, she kissed him fierce, part triumph, part desperation. We're better than them, she whispered. But revenge's shadow lengthened. Days later, Emma cornered Lily at her favorite cafe. Petite, polished, with venomous eyes. Stay away from Alex. He's obsessed, you know. Plotting to ruin us. Marcus and I. We made mistakes, but he's mine to fix. Lily's blood boiled. Fix? You destroyed him. Us. Words flew. Accusations. Tears. Emma left bitterly. He thinks it's over? I've got dirt too. On him. On you, actually. Did you know your perfect Alex was engaged once? To me. And he walked away first. Lies. Truth? Suspense gnawed. Lily confronted Alex that night. In his loft overlooking the sound. Exposed brick. Prints pinned to walls. Engaged? To her? He deflated, sinking onto the bed. Briefly, before the betrayal, I proposed thinking it was love. Then I found the texts to Marcus, planning to fleece me. I ended it. But yeah, the ring is real. It haunts me, Lily. That's why the revenge. Closure, not cruelty. She paced, torn. Romance warred with doubt. His touch still set her aflame. Mornings, tangled in sheets. Coffee, brewed with care. But revenge? It twisted love into a weapon. What if it consumes you? Us? He pulled her close, forehead to hers. It won't. You're my light. Let me drop it. For us. She wanted to believe. But fate, that sly storyteller, had one more twist. The climax crashed a week before Thanksgiving. Marcus, cornered by Alex's anonymous leaks, fraudulent accounts exposed in industry whispers, lashed out. He cornered Lily outside her office, rain-slick streets empty. You and your photographer boyfriend think you can take me down? Emma told me everything. You're both pathetic, clinging to grudges. Fear spiked, but anger won. You took everything, but I rebuilt. Without you. He lunged, grabbed for her arm. Slurred threat, but Alex materialized from the fog, camera in hand, flash popping like gunfire. Back off, Hale. It's over. Marcus swung wild. Alex dodged, tackling him to the wet pavement. Fists flew, blood on knuckles, grunts echoing, until Lily screamed, "Stop! Enough!" Sirens wailed distant. Marcus scrambled up, fleeing into the night. Alex slumped against a lamppost, split lip, eyes wild. "I couldn't let him hurt you." In the ER. Stitches for him, ice for her swelling wrist. Truth poured out. "I sent the photos today," he confessed. To his board. "It's done. No more revenge." Lily cupped his bruised face. "And me? Am I done too?" He searched her eyes, voice breaking. "Never. I love you, Lily. The real kind. No shadows." Tears mixed with rain on the window. "I love you too. But revenge, it almost stole this." They left healed, not whole. Scars as badges. Holiday came. Her family's cabin in the Cascades. Pine-scented air. Turkey roasting. Alex fit seamless. Chopping wood. Teasing her mom about her city boy ways. Around the fire, stories swapped. His lonely shoots. Her design dreams. No exes mentioned. The past burned away. Spring bloomed forgiveness. Lily's book illustrations sold. Dragons slain by witty heroines. Alex's exhibit. Reclaimed light. Celebrated ruins beauty dedicated subtly to her. Emma faded, exposed. Marcus resigned, a footnote. One drizzly June evening, back at the Raven's Nest, anniversary of the spill, they sat window-side. He slid a velvet box across, not a ring, but a locket engraved, "Our Chaos." Inside a tiny photo, them laughing in rain. "Marry me?" he asked, simple, eyes clear. "Yes," she whispered, pulling him into a kiss that tasted of future. "And the moral, my dear, revenge is a storm that soaks you through, leaving you colder than before. But love, true, patient love, it's the sun breaking clouds, warming what was lost. It doesn't erase scars, it turns them into stories worth telling. Like this one, to you. There,